Hello, time for a new game here. I've collected a lot of Gukesh games here. First tournament that we're going to look at is the VR Chess Masters in Düsseldorf. And he's playing against Praggnanandhaa, who I think he has played before. And it's a good tournament. Like the rise of Gukesh basically starts now, this year, 2023, because Gukesh, although quite a high rating here, 2718, it's not like you need almost 2800 to qualify by rating for the candidates. And so what will happen for Gukesh is that he will win the FIDE circuit. And the FIDE circuit is a collection of like all the top tournaments where you play long games, longer than like 1.5 hour games. Then you can count your best score in this year for maybe the 5 best tournaments or something like that, 4 best or 5 best, and Gukesh will be the player who will win the FIDE circuit and get qualified to the candidates, because he had a great year here, 2023, and also in the beginning of 2024, I guess, is also counted. So he shared first place here together with Levan Aronian and Jon Nepomniachtchi. A great score for these players. And he plays Praggnanandhaa is maybe a few years older than Gukesh, but they're quite similar in age, same generation, both extremely talented Indian players. And they're playing the Italian, or the Gukesh piano. It's this opening here. For some reason people have stopped to play the main line here, D4. I guess it's just too complicated with lots of theory, so they are doing here D3 and play slower like this. It's the new style, and they say like there is so many like move orders, like why should black play A5 or A6, should white go on the queen side or whatever. So people just stopped like to memorize theories, because there are just so many move orders, I guess. So at least the lazy players like me who stopped analyzing move orders and just play. And this is exactly what player like Gukesh and Magnus and so wants. They just want a chess game. They don't want a battle of memorization, even if Magnus has the best memory on the planet, so he doesn't want that. So here, when you play D5, is always like, it's always hard to know. Like black has put his knight here, you usually want to put your knight here, and then you want to play D5. That's basically the idea, I think. But once one player play D5, lots of things happens, and it will get quite complicated, and it will change the character, because Gukesh piano, it means, I guess it means I don't know, piano is, yeah, I don't know, but I think it means calm opening or something like that in Italian. But once you do like this E5 and it gets changed, it's no longer calm, it's like a pure Italian. So he took an F6. The computer doesn't like that. He thinks that he should keep the bishop. Of course, it's exerting pressure here, so if you don't have to, it looks very strange to take here, actually. Often black has to provoke this trade with H6, like if this wasn't under attack, for example, here, like a normal move would be something like this, and either he takes or he goes back. Okay, I see. So the white's point here was to put in this one, and maybe winning the bishop pair, or putting this bishop at word square, because I don't think this is, yeah, maybe no, not that one, because the bishop I think maybe this could be a little bit weak, but the computer thinks that's also playable for black because he wins a pawn for the weak squares. Otherwise, maybe something like this could be something. It also looks quite equal actually. Okay, but it explains why black did d5 because he didn't want to have to deal with this one. So black did d5, and here white should have taken the pawn. And it's, yeah, this looks right to defend the pawn. Yeah, just no hurry, because the thing is that like white could always take, and then he takes back with the pawn when he wants. So let's see what happens. Here he takes. I see the point now. Like if he would take like this, then he would not trade here. He would go here at once and play on this square. That makes some sense. That makes actually some sense. So yeah, that's what I talk about with d5 here. It's just complex. Once one player plays d5, it becomes sharp and interesting game. Okay. And what about this endgame then? Yeah, probably good for black to trade to an endgame because his kingside has been weakened. Okay, so that's explain why he's taking on f6 and he took with the queen. And now it's correct to take apparently. Yeah, because black hasn't weakened his structure, so now it's okay, correct to take. And interestingly, instead of taking it back, which would lead to an active knight here for white. No, actually to a win of a pawn. This pawn is lost now. So he has to sack a pawn and go here. Try to give white double pawn, also knight h4. So interestingly, first it looked like maybe white could weaken black's kingside here on f6, but instead it's white kingside that got weakened here. When yeah, if he can take here and give white a double pawn. So let's see what happens. Okay, so I play knight e3. Computer thinks you can also take here. Yeah, because you have this defense always. Yeah, it's nothing. Like if the queens get traded, then it's fine to do. It's definitely fine to do that, but it also looks good to go here at once to like, which is sometimes called like, ask the bishop the question, like what do you want to do here? So you can also ask the question with h3. Do you want to take or go back? If you go back, maybe sometimes d4 could come, win a piece, and or do you want to go back like here? But then I can move the knight. So he decided to do this one. So white could win a piece here. Let's see why that's not so good. So only chance for black here is apparently d4. And let's see here. Okay, and he can't take because of checkmate. So let's maybe make something else here. Okay, and if this one he can take here. I see. Okay, so it would have been very, very complicated. So if black gets such an attack, it's probably not correct. It's probably not correct to play g4 if black gets such an attack. So he took here instead. And black did his sack anyway. There are lots of good moves. Also rook here and knight here. Knight here. Lots of moves looks good for black here. And we see typical feature of Gukesh playstyle. He's winning material. He's 2 pawns up here, but black of course has some activity. Maybe he can do like a knight here and give white doubled pawn, for example. But white always has this defense here with the bishop, maybe. So I guess the reason why black is sacking a pawn, it might be because so he can't like defend like that if he does this one. But the computer doesn't like that. Looks like black could play slower here, for example this one. It allows white to put the bishop more defensive here. Maybe here threatening f5. Here Gukesh could do his speciality, sacking the queen. Gukesh likes to play either without the queen or with a queen against no queen. He likes to both win and sack the queen. So white obviously has some compensation here because of the grip on the light squares, but looks good for black anyway. Can do this g6 f5 next. He could also do like this. Oh, but okay, I see, and then go here, and this queen is a little bit in problems. Okay, but for black is just winning a piece here. So okay, so this problem with this maneuver is that black can go here and play f5, so it's complicated. And he could also start with this one and not waste a move on this. Then he would have to defend, of course. And now he could try that, but it's it's a bit different. It's a bit different here. Let's see. Okay, so I could play like this, threaten here, and if g3 he could win a piece. I see. So this is one way to play it. Now black has a nice compensation, but white has material for it. So let's see what happened. White took, and they both took, and here he did this this sack here. White took the pawn. Also, you could also put this one in between. Something like this. Okay, it takes here. Yeah, it's good to trade this one actually, because sometimes this was a problem here. Sometimes this was a problem. Okay, so but of course now you don't have to take back on c7. So it's more interesting to take here. Apparently it's best to take with the bishop. If you take with the pawn, this looks dangerous. Black has sacrificed some pawns and the rook, but what you always should do in these kind of positions is that you should count attackers and defenders, and black has 3 attackers, white only has one defender, probably the queen, and it's just not a good defender. So black is definitely gonna win some material here, and the only way for white to play is apparently to go here. I look a little bit on the variations here. Looks like he wants to take here to not get out with the knight. And maybe either if black just takes here, white is a pawn and an exchange up, but of course this king side position is something like this. It's kind of yeah, it's a bit in troubles here. Okay, so that would have been an interesting game to see what would have happened, and computer says black can immediately equalize by doing this. Take and go here. I guess there might be some kind of drawing checks here. Okay, only move is this. Apparently it threatens checkmate. Let's go here. 2 moves. Let's first look at this one where white can run. White is running all the way to the queen side here. Let's continue. Okay, so for some reason white can only do knight d5 here, give back pieces here. Yeah, it can't, because this queen cannot defend both the pieces. That's the problem. So he's losing something here. Yeah, and apparently it's equal. This passer is good, but black will get his own passer here. Okay, so that's nice line here by the computer. Okay, but instead of 95 he took here. There are many different moves. Computer likes this one the most. He needs to block and he should sack here. Has to take. Apparently this way. Yeah, so he can't sack the pawn with e5, so it's important to go here and not on ah4. Now this there will be a doubled pawn here for sure. Or he could do his favorite and sack the queen. That's only move, otherwise yeah, I guess this double pawn is just way too weak, like something like this is just mating here, maybe. Okay, you should say check first, yeah. Check first so you can't run with the rook, and then this is checkmate. So he has to sack the queen. Okay, and apparently black's only chance here is to get... It's not the only chance. He can apparently get perpetual by taking here. He could also try to play it like this. Now it's 2 pawns, knight and rook for the queen. Black has, but white king is... It's all about like the safety of the king for the side that does not have the queen, and it looks dangerous first because it's running, but yeah, it looks relatively safe here. So the computer likes white here because of that. Okay, that was interesting. Or he could also get a forced draw here. And this nice move, threatening to maybe go here. And if he takes, it's obviously perpetual checks. But he played this one instead. And here white made an inaccuracy. He played 95, was better to go here. Just look at some lines. I see, the point is you can defend here with the queen. So the computer likes this one the most. Now it threatens bishop here and win the queen, of course, but you can go here. Yeah, maybe Gukesh didn't see this maneuver. It's a non-standard maneuver here to defend with the queen like that. But once you see it from the almighty computer, then of course it looks correct to play like this and put the queen in this defensive position, even if the game is apparently equal here also. But maybe worst is over for white here. Okay, so he played knight 95 instead. Yeah, only move, queen h6. Now he wants to like take, and then give checkmate here because the bishop is threatening. So he played rook here. Why didn't it take here? Because then black could take here. I can't take back because it will be checkmate. So he has to do something else like this. This looks relatively dangerous for white. Something like this I try to mate, but apparently there is time to go back with the knight. Yeah, so the game continues here. black has at least perpetual here. Yeah, so instead white played rook e1, and it's easy to understand that once black gets through here, white can always run with the king like we saw he could in another variation. Run to the queen side. Here black makes a dubious move. He took here. Computer just want to play calmly and just do like this. Yeah, it's quite very interesting, complicated game here, of course. Very interesting and very complicated game. Let's see, how long did we play the video? Yeah, 26 minutes already, so maybe time to speed up a bit. Very interesting lines. I like the kind of attacking kind of games. Yeah, so this is quite logical to defend a knight like this. Let's look at that again. Here. He could also take first. Maybe it's more normal to take first. And then he defends here. What if he take? No, I can't. Yes, I didn't. I thought the queen was an h5. Of course, he can't take them. So he has to go here. Apparently, something like this is something that the computer analyzes. Black gets play here. Strong grip on the dark squares. So it looks like the black has enough compensation here because of this play on the dark squares. That's nice. So he took on h2 instead. Okay, so he could have sacked his queen again. This weird that he didn't do that. He used to like sacking his queen here. Now white has, yeah, he has knight, bishop, and 2 pawns. But this is a good passed pawn, so it's almost worth a piece. So the computer likes white here. Black's attack is over. White has a safe king. But yeah, probably Gukesh didn't realize that the computer likes this for white. It would be my guess. So he thought he couldn't play like this because, yeah, black is 1 point up, but because of safe king, strong passed pawn, it's good for white. So instead he moved the king, and black makes a mistake here. Goes here. I guess it's to prevent c7 so he can take it, but that's way too slow. But computer suggesting another slow move, king h8. This goes out of this check at least, and maybe propose f5. Okay, so computer just wants to put the rook here. That's just like you want to keep the rooks connected on the back rank if you can, but yeah, so he has to do king h8 before he does that. Yeah, and maybe f5 next, maybe going around, try to trade. If he gets opposite colored bishop, black, the worst is over for black, of course. He's not in any problems then, because the bishop is will just defend the c7 pawn forever. Okay, so he went there, and And white makes a mistake again. It was possible to play like this now. I guess threatening here, c7 and then check and then c8 winning a rook. So it's a bit of, white has a bit of a threat now. Okay, let's maybe look at the line here. Computer still likes to go here and try to get the knight into play. These also cover e7, so c7 check here is not possible anymore. Okay, but the computer likes white a little bit here. Okay, let's see what happened. He played here. Yeah, he loses that pawn, that's why that wasn't correct. Why couldn't he have taken it the other way, the way they played here? Why can't he just... Why can't he take here? Ah, this is the point of e5. It's a double threat here. I see. I see, that's the point. Okay, what if it takes like this? Okay, he can take like this, but yeah, maybe he won't. Maybe it's better to keep the knight and the bishop. Bishop is a little bit out of play, and the knight can help to get a grip on the dark squares, maybe. Now, oh, I see. This is actually trapped now. I see. Bishop is trapped. This doesn't work because of this trading, and it's still trapped. Black has to try this, but the computer doesn't really like it. Okay, that e5 was good because sometimes you could get like this double threat. It was just quite not so obvious, and also e5 was good because this bishop could get trapped. It was just very hard for me to see, at least. Okay, so black has won this pawn. It's like was white's strongest passed pawn, but now black would like to get that grip on the dark squares, because now white has time to play and lock this bishop in. So this bishop is in trouble now. That's where black is going here, trying to relieve the bishop. And white is making a mistake again. He's going here so the bishop can go out. Better would have been to do this one, apparently. This is also maybe not so easy to see. Trying to get his own counterplay here. And the thing is that here I can't take because check and winning the queen. Just to do something else. Then suddenly black's king was super safe, but just a few moves it got in trouble here. Computer wants to sack here, I think. Let's see how it is. Okay, if you take here, he can win this rook. Okay, but white is an exchange up. Yeah, but still technical problems here, of course. But yeah, maybe that was the best way to play for white. Okay, so he did this one instead. What is good with this move is that this black knight lot of line he wanted to get it back, maybe to put it here somewhere in the a little bit more in the center, and he can't do it now, so I guess that's the point. That's also a bit weird. White is voluntary going into a pin. Looks more normal just to move it actually. And he moves it now, so he wants to get some trades here. Okay, I just should have done like this. Yeah, White's king is a bit in the center still, so here it's apparently enough play for black because the king is weak. It's always hard to know how many rooks to trade, but apparently black wanted to trade all and white only wants to trade one apparently. Okay, and here is an unfortunate blunder. Black is walking into forced mate here. A big blunder. Rook b2. Only chance was this. G6 to get some luft. Luft means air in Swedish, so you say luft for some reason. Also in English it means that the king can get checkmated on the back rank, but not now because he has some air, so he can breathe, he can go up here. White covers that of course, but then for example this one, and he could go here then. Okay, so let's see. Must be quite a complicated checkmate if a good tactical player like Praggnanandhaa misses it. So he played here. Yeah, it's a complicated one. Computer still doesn't see it. Checkmate, forced checkmate. So point is check here. He has to take it because it's mate here, because no luft. Then here, obviously threatening mate in 2. So either you lose the queen or you get checkmated in 2. So it's actually not such a hard combination to see. So, but he obviously Praggnanandhaa missed it, but it's when you see it, it's not so hard, because there is just no defense for black. Either you lose the queen or you get checkmated. Okay, so I like this game by both. Also Praggnanandhaa I think played a very good game here, so it's a little bit of a shame that it was decided by this mistake for going into this combination here, but it was a super complicated tactical game. So okay, see you next game here. As you can see, I've already chosen a lot of games to cover.